Hey guys, how you doing? It's me, it's Guy. Thank you so much for watching this video and subscribing if you've already subscribed. I really appreciate it. I've already done the video, but I feel as though it was really rushed because I'm kind of new to this teaching guitar on YouTube. So I prefer face-to-face. So scrap that video, and I'm thinking of slowing things down so it's much easier to learn. So let's get into it. So on your guitar, these are your frets here. Going up to the 12th fret, that's your octave right there. So your open string, E, and then E right there. Your tuning of your guitar is lowest string, E, second string is A, D, G, B, E. So that's your standard tuning for a guitar. So I'm going to start off by talking through chord patterns, just basic chords, and we'll go into how to form a bar chord as well, just so it's easier to play certain chords. And then I'm going to go into how these chords are made. Now I'm going to run through a major scale as well, just so it's more easy to kind of understand if you see how it's done. So looking at your chord shapes, here you have the E minor. Playing E minor, you're playing open on your E, second finger on the second fret of the A string, third finger on the second fret of the third string. This is very hard to say. Just playing everything else open, so that sounds like this. To play your E major, all you're doing is you're putting your first finger on the first fret of the G to that minor chord. So what that looks like is this: open on your E, your low string, second on the A, second string, third finger on the second of the D string, and then first finger on the G string, first fret. So moving from the E minor and E major to the A major and A minor, it's quite hard to say that. We're gonna play second on the D string, which is your third string, second on the G string, which is your fourth string, and then second on the B string, which is your fifth string. So that's second finger on the second fret of the D, third finger on the second fret of the G, pinky on the second fret of the B, and that sounds like this. Now to play a minor, all we're doing is we're taking that pinky and we're switching it with the first finger on the first fret, so that looks like this. Second finger on the second fret of the D, third finger on the second fret of the G, first finger on the first fret of the B string, so that sounds like this. Moving on from there, I'm going to go to a D, and what I'm playing there is the second fret of the G string with my first finger, third fret on the B string with my third finger, second fret on the E string with my second finger, and that sounds like this. To play the minor, all you're doing is you're switching your first finger with your second finger on the second fret of the G string, keeping the third finger on the third fret of the B string, but you're sliding down the first to the first fret of the E string, and that sounds like this. So that's your D major and D minor. So now I'm going to teach you the basic inversion of a C major, an F major, and a G major. And I'll give you two patterns of the G as well. For your minors of these chords, I feel it's much easier to learn bar chords though, so I'll get into that as well. For now, I'll just teach you the basic patterns for the C, the F, and the G major. So here's the C. So you've got your third fret on the second string with your third finger, which is your C right there. Your second finger is on the second fret of the D string, which is your E. and then your open G. That's your triad right there. And then you're adding the octave, which is your C, which is the first fret on the B. So that's third on the A with your third finger, second with your second finger on the D, open on your G, and then first on the B string. This is what it sounds like. For your F, I like to look at it as a C with a pinky. That's kind of how I look at it. What you're doing is you're taking that C shape, and then you're moving your second finger back a string to the second fret of the G, and you're adding your pinky on the third fret of the D. So you've got third on the A, third on the D, second on the G, first on the B. And that's your F major. So moving on from there, we've got G. I like to play one pattern more than I do the other one. It's classed as a country G. But the reason I think it's called a country G is because majority of country songs are 1-4-5, and you're adding the fourth in, so that's why it's the country G. But that's the only explanation I've got for it. But the basic pattern that you'll see for a G is this. You got your third fret on your low E string with your second finger, second fret on the A string with your first finger, and you can either use your pinky or your third finger for the high third fret on the E string as well. So this is your G. But the way that I like to play it, I switch the third fret on the E, take that forward a string, so it's third fret on the B, that's your fourth there, and then add in the third fret on the E as well. So your pinky and your third finger are kind of in line with each other. So that's what the country G sounds like. For your B major and your B minor and your other minors like your C and your F that I've skipped out, and your G as well, I'm going to teach you bar chords for these, and learning bar chords will help you move around the neck and give you more sounds or inversions of chords. So a bar chord, pretty much you're doing what it says, you're barring off a certain note. So you're barring, let's say we're going to root this from the E string, okay? When we root it from the E string, we use an E pattern. So here's an example. Here's F sharp major. So we're using an E major shape, but we are barring it off on the second fret of the E string. To make it minor, we're using an E minor shape. So there's F sharp minor. So if we slide it down one fret, there's your F minor chord there. To make it major, so if we think about it that way, we can play a C minor using the E minor shape, but barring off the C on the E string, which is the 8th fret, which is here. But if we're going to bar it off of the A string, we're not going to play the low E string. We're just going to bar it from, let's say, B. We're going to play B, so that's going to be the 2nd fret on the A string is your root note, your free B. And then we're going to play the A major pattern, and it sounds like this. And then to make it minor, what we're going to do is we're going to bar from 2nd fret on the A, your B, and then we're going to play the A minor shape. So for another example, let's go E minor, but rooted from the A. That's up here on the 7th fret, playing the A minor shape. But as you remember, we're just playing the E minor shape because we're rooting it off the E here. But if we're rooting off the A, we're not playing that bottom string. And then we're playing it on the 7th here. But that's how bar chords work. So hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully your mind's not too mush. But these are your basic shapes. These are your triads. So what I mean by triads is if we take the scale, let's say C. Let's take 1, 3, and 5 from C. That's your C major notes. C, E, G. 1, 3, 5. So if we're gonna make that minor, we're just flattening the third. So it's gonna be C, E flat, G. C, E flat, G. The easiest way for me to learn how these triads are formed, how these chords are formed, was to learn the harmonized major scale, okay? So the harmonized major scale, the pattern is tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. And that looks like this. What I'm playing in that pattern right there, this is just one way of playing it. You can play this anywhere, like the pattern is always the same. So just right now, we're gonna go for a G major harmonized scale. So to play one inversion or method or pattern, whatever you want to call it, of the G major scale, you're gonna start from your root note, third note E with your second finger, pinky on the 5th fret of the E string, first finger on the 2nd fret, second finger on the 3rd fret, pinky on the 5th fret, first finger on the 2nd fret of the D string, third finger on the 4th fret of the D string, and then 5th fret is your octave. But you can play as many different ways. This is just one pattern. You can also play it like this. Then you can carry on, and carry on again. And then you can just play it different ways. It's always that pattern, always the same pattern. Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. But to make these chords and these triads, all you're doing is, for the major triad, you're taking 1, 3, 5 from that major scale. So let's take C, because C major has no sharps or flats. So it's much easier to get your head around. So you got 1, which is C, 3, which is E, and then 5, which is your G. To make a minor triad, all you're doing is you're flattening the third. So you've got 1, C, flat 3, which is E flat, and then G, which is your 5th. So yeah, I hope that's helped you out a bit. I hope this will give you kind of a bit of knowledge on guitar. If you want to continue playing guitar, definitely hit that subscribe button, and I will definitely do more lessons because it's fun. Hopefully you'll continue with the guitar because it's great. It's a great instrument and I love it to bits. Hopefully this video is more slow down and you can learn something from it. I'm so sorry about the other video. As I say, I'm new to this whole YouTube thing. So teaching online I rush through it because I panic, but that's my bad. So yeah, hopefully you've learned something, and if you have, please leave me a comment, please leave me a like, hit that subscribe button if you want to learn more about the guitar. I'm doing so many more videos on this. There's so much about guitar that I can teach. Press that notification button and you'll be told as soon as I upload them. Thank you so much for watching this, and I'll see you next time.